Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Black Hat Code tutorial series. And in today's video, we're gonna code an echo server, a concurrent echo server. So make sure if you haven't watched the previous video, uh, which was about I/O reader writer interface, please make sure to watch it because the concepts in this video will be built on top of that. So if you haven't watched it yet, please go and watch the previous video and then come back to this video. So without any further ado, let's begin. Let me move to the folder and then open our code editor. Okay, so let me create a new folder. Let's say echo serve cd. So here we have an echo server directory. Inside it, let me create a new file. Let me quickly write the boilerplate. We are definitely going to need net package. We'll see if we need others as well. So the most important uh, function for this echo server is going to be an echo function which will take the connection argument, an argument of type connection, and then it will write some data onto that connection, and if it is unable to write, then it will return some error. Otherwise it will write the data whatever it has received from the reader end. Okay, so the function is going to be very simple because we already know the concept of interfaces. So what we'll do, we'll define a function echo which will accept one argument of type net.connection. Then what we are going to do, first we'll quickly say defer connection close, which means as soon as this function completes, it will close the connection, and we'll say io.copy. If you remember the previous video, we used io.copy to uh, write something from the writer interface to the reader. Sorry, from the reader interface to the writer interface. So this makes our life much easier. So we'll simply pass the same object in both the argument connection. So what this means is it will read from the same connection using the reader method, and then write the same content onto the same connection object using the write method. Error not equal to nil. Then we'll say we'll log something, log fatal n. So what this log fatal n will do is it will print the, as you can see from the description here, fatal n is equivalent to println followed by an call to OS exit. So as soon as this line is executed, it will print something on the screen and then immediately it will exit. So we'll say unable to uh, read write data. This will be enough, I think, for this function. So this is a very simple function which we are going to use in our main method. So what this function is doing, again I'm repeating the same thing. So it will take an argument of type net.connection, which represent the connection between the client and the server. So connection, as you can see, is an interface which has two methods, read and write. Connection dot close. Then we are going to say io dot copy. So we are passing the same object in the in the destination as well as the source. So what this means is it will read from this connection and write to the connection. The same thing, whatever it reads, it will write the same string to the right, to the same connection object. So in effect it will behave like an echo server. So now let's write the main function quickly. So the main function is going to be very straightforward, nothing big there. So first we need to define a listener object, listener, and then we'll say one error object if something goes wrong. Then net dot listen. Now we want to listen on something. Let's say TCP in our case, and we also define some port to listen on. So let's say 2000 or anything you want. Then what we'll say, if error, if error not equal to nil, so we are going to do the same thing, log fatal ln. We'll say unable to bind to port, else we are going to say print listening on 0 dot. By the way, 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot means wildcard address, which means all the localhost addresses, all the addresses which are bind, localhost addresses which are bind to this system will be used. Let's say 2000, listening on 000 2000. Then we are going to go in a for loop, infinite for loop. And inside this for loop, what we are going to do is using this listener object, we are going to accept a connection at a time. And after getting the connection object, we are going to pass the same connection object to this echo function. So um, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's create a connection object and then error. Now we are going to say listener dot accept. Let's print something. Received a connection, and if something goes wrong, that means error is not equal to nil, and we are going to simply say log something on the screen. Let's say this time we need to use fatal n, because if something goes wrong we want to immediately exit. So we'll say unable to accept connection. Once this is done, we're going to simply say echo, and our will pass the connection object. So as you can see, within 30 lines we have written the uh, echo server in Golang. So this is very powerful. But one problem here is that this echo server is not concurrent. By concurrent, I mean it will accept the request for each client. Let's say my server is running on this port, but only it will serve only one client at a time, because we are doing this in an infinite loop in a single go routine, which is the main function. So in order to make this concurrent, we'll simply place go here, go keyword here. So what happens is, as soon as it accepts a single connection from a client, it will run a separate go routine for this echo function. So in effect, our echo server will run in concurrent mode. So let's see both the versions. Go run server.go. So it says we're listening on port. Let's start a new terminal, and here we'll say mm, telnet localhost 2000. Oops, misspelled. As you can see, as soon as we started the telnet on 2000, we can see here it has printed we received a connection. Now if I type anything, let's say hi, I get hi in back from the server. Let's say I type this is a test for echo server. We'll get the same string from the server. But now let's say we start another client and we want to use the same thing, want to connect to the same echo server. So now it won't serve us, it won't serve our request because this is running in sequential mode. So as soon as I close this connection or close this terminal, you can see our request is served now. Now it will run like the other one. Hi, this is a test. Now let's make it concurrent by just using the go keyword. Now let's see how it will behave. Let me start to terminal again. I'll do side by side so that you can see for yourself. Telnet. As you can see here, we received a connection. Here also I do the same thing. We received another connection. Now I'll say this is a test. This is a test 2. As you can see, both the clients are running in parallel, and our server is able to serve both the clients concurrently. So that was all about a concurrent echo server in Go. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any question, please post it in the comment section below and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks. Bye.